All right, everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about how I balance my work life and my writing life. Because right now I'm working part-time doing a mixture of things: ghostwriting, tutoring, teaching, and occasionally miscellaneous tasks that don't fall into any of those categories. And on top of that, I'm also doing YouTube videos, learning Japanese, and working on my self-published works. And I'm going to talk today a little bit about how I am balancing all of those things and if I'm balancing them well. The first thing I'm going to answer is how I'm balancing those things. The main thing that's really helped me is just staying as organized as possible. I have my calendar. When I first started out with this calendar, I tried to set a time schedule, and I learned very quickly that that didn't work for me very well. It worked for maybe a week or two, but then something would happen and throw my time schedule off, and I would just not get anything done for several weeks. I've kind of combined a few of different strategies together into my own strategy. One of the strategies, and I can't remember where I found this, probably Sarah Cannon, because I watch a lot of her videos, was to have 3 tasks that you make your priority. So I have a long checklist of things, as you can probably see if you get close enough. So I have a bit of a long checklist every day, and one of the things that I do is I just check things off as I go. I try to do in between work shifts at least 1 to 2 checklist items. Depending on how ambitious I'm feeling that week, I will usually have about 3 of those checklist items in parentheses, so I know that that's my first, second, and third priority, so I know what absolutely needs to get done today. What I've kind of just done this week is, if it's really important, you can see I have kind of like a little bubble around it, or I'll put stars next to it so I know that that has to get done today. The other thing I do is my calendar has 3 spots at the top of it. So these are my weekly goals, and that's what I try to get done every single week. So if I'm not sure if I'm on track this week, what I'll do is I'll look back at these 3 goals and see how many of them I've gotten done, and if I'm close to finishing them. And if I am not close to finishing them and I see that I'm not close halfway through the week, then I know where I need to focus my time and what I need to prioritize. I also will reevaluate these 3 goals every single week and go like, oh, I felt really overwhelmed even though I completed all of these 3 tasks. And if I know that I'm feeling overwhelmed despite completing these tasks, then I know that maybe these are not the things I should be prioritizing right now. And for my calendar, I do try to have a good mix of both career goals and publishing goals, just so that way I make sure that I'm not sidelining my publishing business, but I also want to make sure that I am not sidelining my regular job. I don't want to lose my job, and I don't want to not do my best at my job. But I still need to make sure that I'm making time for myself and making time for my own business goals so that way I can progress. I'm not going to give you a set time as to how much time do I spend writing, but I will tell you during Camp NaNoWriMo, which is one of the months where I usually write and edit the most, I ended up spending about 1,000 minutes writing, which if you break that down to about, let's say 20 to 25 days, because I'm not going to count weekends. I don't always write on the weekends. That comes out to roughly 40 minutes a day. And honestly, sometimes it's less than 40 minutes. So some days I might only write about 10 or 15 minutes, and some days I might write for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. It really just depends on the day and how I'm feeling. I hope that's reassuring as to you don't need to be writing a ton every single day to be a self-published author. And a lot of the people that I know that are also self-published authors are not spending hours upon hours at the beginning. Once I'm able to have enough money to switch to being a full-time author, I probably will spend several hours a day writing. But if you're part-time, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Like right now, because I'm doing more editing, I haven't been doing a ton of writing. And I'm okay with that. A couple of other things that I do to really organize my time, aside from checklists and aside from having the little 3 goals at the top, is I also like to keep long-term goals. So the nice thing about this planner, which by the way I got from Target, that's what the cover looks like. And it's like it's from Day Designer, so if you want to check it out, they're pretty awesome. They also have stickers, which I appreciated. That was actually part of the reason I bought it, because I am particularly motivated by stickers. I don't know why, I just am. If you look at the very front of this planner, it kind of has like the option for you to write your big picture goals here. And then over here, you can set both personal goals and when you want to achieve them by. If I'm ever not sure if I'm achieving my personal goals, then I look back at this and it gives me a really good idea of, oh, I've actually come further than I thought, or, oh, I really need to ramp up what I'm doing, or decide if this is a realistic thing for me. For example, one of the things that I wanted to do was to sell 250 copies of Spellbound by August 2020. It is August. I have not sold that many, and I've just come to realize that maybe I didn't have the money and the time to dedicate to it, and also Spellbound wasn't really where I needed it to be quality-wise for me to sell 250 copies. But I'm working to make my writing better so that future books will be able to sell more than that. The other thing that I put was I wanted one of my stories to be loved by 2 to 3 big book bloggers. And so far I've had one that really loved it, and I'm waiting to hear back from a couple other bigger bloggers and one YouTuber to see what they think of one of my short stories. So I might end up reaching that goal, which would be amazing. And then financial goals, it has in the planner, like your financial goals. For me, it was to save a certain amount of money, which I was able to do. I wanted to save about 8,000 to 10,000, and I was already pretty close to that, and use my money more wisely for my business. I'm getting better, but I'm still a little bit frivolous sometimes with how I spend money when it comes to my business. I tend to have an obsession with covers, book covers specifically, and I will overbuy them and then not use some of them. So I'm trying to get better about that. And I'm also trying to get better about making sure that I'm self-editing better, so I'm not spending a crud ton of money on editing. The other thing I had was to make at least 3 more writer or blogger friends, which I was able to already accomplish, so that was awesome. And to make 10% of my income from books and writing, and I wanted to post on YouTube at least once a month, which I have been doing, so yay. Yay for that. It also has the option where you can design your days. It says like to plan your day early, identify at least 3 to-dos, fitness and family time for your morning routine, and then for evenings, take time to be grateful, recap your day, celebrate progress, and prepare for tomorrow. I do not prepare my goals daily, so I didn't 100% take the advice here. I actually prefer to prepare weekly, because I find that for me, instead of it being a nice nightly routine, it becomes a little bit stressful when I have to prep all of my goals the night before, and oftentimes I'm not putting my full effort into it and it just doesn't go well. So I usually like to do my goal setting on Sunday nights. This gives me ample time because I'm not working on Sunday, and this also allows me to get an idea of how I want my week to go. Personally, I did not follow all of this advice. I'm not a morning person, so it says start your day early. I do not follow that advice. I am a night owl. This does not work out well for me, ever. I am up early today, but that's only because I was working early, and it was one of the few times where I was not super tired waking up. Generally, what I've found as a night owl is that if I start my day early, it's not going to be a productive day because I will just be tired for the entire day. And for me, it just doesn't work. So you can also rest assured that if you're not a morning person, that's okay, and you can still be productive. I do start earlier on days that I want to be productive, or I'll stay up late to get stuff done. So even though I'm not waking up early, I do make up for that by either going to bed and doing stuff a little bit later, or by getting up a little bit earlier than normal. And it also says to review goals throughout the year, which I do. I don't really do quarterly goals. I do monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. And that's what really seems to help me stay on track. For the monthly goals, I kind of just go into like this little monthly thing here, and I'll put any important events that I have going on. And on the side, I'll usually set up some sort of monthly goals. I haven't quite done that for August yet because I was not mentally prepared for August, quite frankly. Usually I'll have a list. So if you look back at July, I'll put both budget things on the side as well as some potential goals that I have. I put edit Gabriel is Cursed, beta read for the anthology, WSD, which stood for Writing Self-Development, finish Amy's Rebellion, and to start the audiobook production, which has been started and finished for War of the Twin Swords. I'm just waiting for audio approval on that. So I got a good portion of my goals for that month done. I just have to figure out what I'm doing for this month. I hope this was helpful for you. I know that for me, it was a really long process figuring out what sort of organizational system would work for me. And even to this day, I am tweaking and changing it based on my current needs and how those needs change over time. I might talk to you in a month and have a process that's completely different. But as of right now, my main processes, just a quick recap, are I have stickers and other rewards for when I complete my checklists. I set myself daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. And I have this nice little planner where I'm able to set goals for the year. So I'm able to go back and review them throughout the year to see if I'm on track and to kind of reassure me if I feel like I'm not getting as much done as I would like. That's all I have for you today. If you like this video, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe to my channel. And let me know below if you have an organizational system and what that organizational system is. Thanks. Bye.